Hi reception, Callum here. You might recognise me from PE at school, okay. Just while we're in lockdown, okay, I know it's unfortunate, we want to, get back into schools and get back to normal, but just while we're at home, we're going to put on some challenges for you guys. We're going to do a couple each week, okay, and we're going to see what score you guys can get, alright. So, it's going to cut to me being in a different place because this is recorded before today, okay, but I want to see who can do the best at these challenges. I want to try and get as many of you involved as we can, okay? So I'm going to show you the challenges and then I'll come and see you at the end, okay? Hi guys, it's Callum. Don't recognise me from PE, okay? I've got a little home challenge for you guys today, okay? That I want you to practice and show me that you can do and improve, okay, in your own time. You won't need a lot of equipment. All you'll need for this one is a balloon. Okay, I hope all of you have a balloon at home. And all we're going to do to start with for the first one is we're going to work on some throwing and catching, but we're going to use hitting techniques because we're going to be doing some tennis in PE this term. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit the balloon with our hand. Okay, whichever hand you want, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to try and catch it before it hits the floor, okay? And it doesn't matter if it hits the floor, we'll just try again, okay? There's no rules. I just want you to practice trying to hit the balloon up in the air and catching it before it hits the floor, okay? So you can do it in your front room, you can do it in your garden if it's not windy, okay? So you've got your balloon. All we're going to do is we're going to hit it and catch it with two hands, okay? Seeing how many we can do without it hitting the floor, okay? So it doesn't matter how high you hit it. We want to try and keep it just above our head, so not too high, okay? But it doesn't matter if you go a bit lower. And we're just going to try and make sure we keep our eyes on the balloon and our two hands together to catch it with both hands, okay? How many can we do? Okay, reception, this is challenge number 2, okay? So challenge number 2 is a little bit more difficult than challenge number 1 because we're not going to be able to catch it this time, okay? Challenge number 2 is can we keep the balloon in the air only using our hands without catching the balloon, okay? So instead of catching this time, you're just going to try and keep the balloon up in the air as much as we can, okay? Without the balloon hitting the floor. So if you can see, I'm keeping my eyes on the balloon, okay? I'm keeping my hands out, because if I have them down by my side, the balloon's just going to fall and hit the floor, okay? So I'm keeping my eyes on the balloon, my hands under the balloon, and I'm just moving my hands to where the balloon goes, okay? So can we try and get 10 or more, okay? If you can get 10 or more, I'll be really, really impressed. But let's see who can do more. All right, reception, last challenge, okay, challenge number 3. So challenge number 3, we're not going to use our hands anymore. We're going to use something at home to keep the balloon in the air, okay? So I don't have a tennis racket at home, and some of you might not either. If you've got a tennis racket, great, you can use a tennis racket. But if you haven't got a tennis racket, you can use something else. So I'm going to use my dustpan, okay, from my dustpan and brush. Most of you will have one of these, or you could use a frying pan or anything you've got at home that has a flat surface, okay? And instead of using our hands, we're going to use this to keep the balloon in the air, okay? So it's the same challenge as number 2, apart from we're using an item to keep the balloon in the air. So again, I've got to keep my eyes on the balloon and try and keep my dustpan or whatever you're using as flat as possible, okay? And hit the balloon into the air, okay? Trying not to let the balloon bounce, okay? We're just using our item, whatever you're using, to keep the balloon in the air and keeping our eye on the balloon without it hitting the floor, okay? And again, can we try and keep it below our heads, okay? If you start hitting it really high, it's going to become a lot more difficult because it moves around the area, okay? So using your item from home, can we keep the balloon in the air? Again, the challenge is 10 or more, but I believe you can do more than 10. Okay, reception. Now you've seen the challenges. I want you to try and get the best score you can, okay? Don't worry about thinking about what your friend might get, all right? Just concentrate on your best score, okay? Write it down, and at the end of the week, I want you to write down your final score, okay? So you practice during the week and see if you can beat your score by the end of the week, okay? And we want to see as many of you joining in as possible, have as much fun as you can, and see what your best score can be, okay? See ya.